Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is an LHMTV. It's a Tier 8 British light tank. It's located on the south spawn of Redshire, and this one is under the command of the Bassman from Hell of FILO. Okay, game on, and we've got no engine noise. Oh dear, they've let us down again. Oh well, this tank is the one that eventually would become the Scorpion after many changes. The British reconnaissance tank or light tank that was actually put into production. The LHMTV has two guns, one of which is, I believe, a 75mm. He's got the top gun, which is the 83.4mm. And Bassman, yep, he's gone to his favourite spot, which is this set of bushes with a tree directly in front of him. And from here, he can spot most of the enemy and they can't see him at all. Now, this tank does have very good camo qualities. I think it's the best camo qualities in its class. And it's also a very small tank. Indeed, as you can see, it fits nicely inside those bushes. Now, I've actually tried this position for myself, and it was easy to get away without being spotted. But the problem is that enemy tanks tend to drive straight past you if they're using the river, and then obviously you get proximity detected the moment they get behind you, and then you have to move quick. Usually it's fatal, because from this position the enemy up on the hill are likely to see you, the guy who's in the river will see you, and yes, it's curtains shortly afterwards. Now, he was just checking to see if he could actually get a crafty shot off at these guys, but he's holding fire because he wants to remain unspotted. And despite that IS-3 appearing to look in this direction, I don't think he did see anything at all. In fact, he's picking up loads of spotting because the Waffenträger, the Scorpion G and the Udas are all hitting these guys really, really hard thanks to Bassman's spotting. He's up to 849 hit points already, and it's growing. I'm not sure he's actually spotting those guys now, because I think our guys at the Zeppelin are peeking through and seeing him and seeing them, so that's why he's stopped receiving any more. But anybody up in the hill, yes, he'd be spotting those. Now, this is a 2 replay video, but we do have more than one video coming up featuring Bassman in the LHMTV, because he's trying to grind it at the moment, get up to the next level, which is the GSOR. And the T10 finally goes down. Despite the fact that he's only got 849 hit points of spotting assist, he is doing a very good job in this position. And he's decided to go active now and change position. I would have gone straight up to the bushes. He spotted another enemy, an ISC-152, up on the hill. Now, if he can get to a position where he's unseen, been seen by those guys down there, and yeah, try not to reverse up. It's only 23 in reverse, 63 forward speed. It's not a very fast light tank. Well, not hugely fast, but it is very, very stealthy, and he's managed to get into this bush, and I suspect he's unspotted now because they didn't fire at him. But I think he does need to reposition himself because his rear reference point is in open sight, and it could be that they spotted those. Yeah, well, he gets one quick shot in. They would have noticed him now. Now, the 83mm, I think it's actually supposed to be 85mm, is actually capable of 230 alpha and penetrates 226mm of armor with standard ammo, and it'll also go through 258mm with the premium ammo. He's decided to help this guy out with a T55. Gets one shot in. Can he get another one in? Wait for the reload. It's 9.79 seconds on the reload standard, but 9.18 for Bassman. So he's got a kill. And he's going back to doing his spotting job. Ouch! E75 just came down and wiped our Liberté out completely. Puts one round into the guy though. Unfortunately, the E75 might take affront at that and decide to come up here, and he could easily wipe us out very, very quickly. So Bassman is motoring back to his own lines, even whilst the E75 is being left behind. Looks like the enemy Gorilla was following him as well, Gorilla 15. Now it's a tier 10 game, he's tier 8 light tank, so he's going to earn a bit of XP off this one. And he's made it back to our lines, but I suspect he wants to go back to doing some spotting. Is he going to go back into the bush? Remember, there might be a gorilla out there looking for him, and he's found a rather unusual position right next door to the bridge. Now from here he might be spotted by somebody up on the hill, because again, side reference point is exposed, or at least half of it is, I think. Certainly his rear reference point is exposed, and his right one is definitely exposed. It's halfway down the vehicle at the midpoint. So if somebody was to actually go up on that hill over there, they'd probably see him straight away. But somebody in front of him wouldn't spot him at all. Mind you, he does have good camo qualities, so they might not see him from the hill because it might just be too far. If you think about it, it's about 300 meters. But no sign of the enemy yet. Oh, there's the Gorilla 15, and he's very low on hit points. It might be a good idea for Bassman to go up on the Zeppelin, and then he can spot this guy. Oh, nice kill! But he was seen, and the E75 planted a round into him, and so did the Kampfpanzer 50 ton, so he had to dive into the water. That was unfortunate. But at least he got a kill, and an important kill at that, the Gorilla 15. Now he's very low on hit points now, only 159 left. I'd be tempted to go up near the Zeppelin. The E75 was last seen up, well, near that vicinity. He might be able to spot the guy and fire one back. Ah, now he's actually down in the riverbed. That was like what I said about, you know, the danger of somebody coming up behind you through the riverbed whilst you're sitting in those bushes. The ISU 152 just took out our UDES 14.5, so we're now one down on the enemy. We can rectify that if Bassman can get spots on the E75 and allow his teammates to do some damage. And he's doing exactly what I thought he would do, go up onto the Zeppelin. You either use that bush. Oh, crafty, he's approaching from the right angle, and the Striv's inside. Oh, what a shot! Nice one. So now he's got 3 kills. Now the reason that one of the bad things about this tank is the DPM, and obviously the reason for that is that very long reload. It is a very small tank and it's very cramped on the inside, but it is a long reload. It gets another hit on that E75, who's not going to be a happy bunny, and there's the Kampfpanzer. So it's time to skedaddle out of here. Run, run, run. Oh, and Arty tried to have a go as well. Okay, so he's going to reposition. This time round, I think he might go over to the middle and take position nearby the tank destroyers. He's got a patrol duty, potentially. And now he's back with the Arty, our Arty, the 212A. Okay. I wonder if he's actually going to go up the east side again. We know the Kampfpanzer's there. It'd be a very nice kill if his teammates could get that one. Yeah, he's just checking his camo qualities, and it looks like the 212A is joining him or moving. Yeah, he's just changing position. Not exactly a wise move for the 212A at this time of the battle. Yeah, that's why. You see, he was obviously going to get spotted by either the Kampfpanzer or the E75. He would have been better off going west, actually, rather than east. But I think he was going to that little alcove. As you saw, he had difficulty pushing the trees down. This tank is very, very light indeed. It was originally supposed to be an airborne tank, which meant that it had to be about 3 to 4 tons. And in actual fact, it weighs 5 tons, so it's not that heavy. Very light tank indeed. Only crew of 3. Commander, driver, gunner. So I suspect that the commander also acts as the loader. Okay, doubling back. He's anticipating the enemy is actually headed towards the cap. Our Borsig has moved up, or in fact he's his platoon mate actually as well, has moved up, and he's already been, well, the ISU 152 is over there, and we can see him. Our E50 is way into enemy territory. I think he is going, well, they've already lost their Arty, their FV3805. There's the E75. I think they're actually, the enemy's in a bit of a pickle here. The ISU 152 is just over that ridge line, and he's probably still there. Baseman's probably about to see him. Yes, there he is. Can't get a lock on in time. Well, he does get a lock on, but he wasn't able to get his gun to bear in time. So he's turned around, and it looks like the Borsig managed to get around into the E75, and a big one at that. Makes him a one-shot. So, can we get a shot into him from here? Maybe. Well, no, because our E50 got him instead. The Waffenträger just took a hit. Ouch. That was the ISU 152, got the kill. But we might be able to get some damage on the ISU, or at least certainly we control him. And this is the fun bit, yep, because now we sit behind him. We can potentially track him, but he's actually now shoving us, which is a bit difficult. But that's another round into his rear. He's got enemy in front of him, enemy behind him. He's either going to take it in the mush or one up the rear. And he's taking it up the rear. Oh dear. Not a great battle for him. But here comes the Kampfpanzer. And he wants revenge. And he does take revenge on Baseman. But by doing that, he's allowing the Borsig to get another shot. Let's follow the battle. Where are you? There you go. And the Kampfpanzer is toast, which means they've won the battle. Guns up. In the second battle, the Baseman is on the eastbourne of Paris, and the game's about to start. And yet again, we've got no engine noises. It's so annoying. You'd think Wargaming would have fixed these things, but they didn't. Okay, he's rushing off into the centre to try and get some early spots, and he's found an AMX 65 ton and a Progetto, and yep, quite a few, an M60. He's decided to pull back before they fire something into him. Oh, and he's found, yeah, there's the M60. Well, one shot. Might be able to get another one, actually. I'm not sure the M60 can see him. Well, he knows he's here because he's taking fire. I think it's one of these tanks which has so good camo that it could literally just get far enough away, turn around and shoot at the enemy, and the enemy can't even see where the shell's coming from. Okay, we're going to link 6x6 up on the centre. He should be able to get shots into that guy. He's just sitting on the edge. No, not that. Well, it's been spotted. It's the Progetto, I think, yeah. Oh, it's a Barask. Ow! And the links. So he's lost half his hit points, and he needs to make sure that that Barask is not going to get a second shot into him. Otherwise, this game's going to be very brief. Okay, making his way up to the centre again. Can he see the links? No, he's gone to ground now. There he is. This time round, he makes no mistake. And the Lynx had actually lost enough hit points, so it was a kill shot. Now, apparently, accordingly, they actually made one prototype of this little light tank. Didn't put it into production. As I said, it eventually evolved into the Scorpion. It was known as the Lightweight High Mobility Tactical Vehicle, and that's where it gets its initials LHMTV. No connection with the music channel. Now, he's only got a limited amount of ammo, as you can see here. It's 25 rounds, that's all you get. It's almost as bad as the Manticore. In fact, I think the Manticore is by far worse, because that gets so few rounds, you can barely get any damage at all. Had to change position there because the AMX 65 ton. But he's got to a good spot now, and nice. Side of the vehicle. Easily going to pen him, and the AMX has got no idea where he is. So he's just going to keep firing into this guy every 9 seconds. And yes, got a kill. So 2 kills now. The Lynx and the AMX. Now this Progetto is very brave because of that Barrask. That's mainly why I would say that. Bassman seeing the Barrask and thinking, yes. In fact, actually, the Conway is behind the other side, the other building, so he's getting very, very close. Oh, there's the Conway. And I think the Progetto was the last one to see the Conway before he turned into a flaming ball. So we're 2 tanks up on the enemy at the moment, so this battle is going our way. Oh, Skid almost tried to get up onto the platform. Oh, clipped the wall there. Could have flipped himself. This tank is so light, it's very, very easy to flip. So you don't want to hit walls or obstacles because it might turn the thing over. Kind of embarrassing at tier 8 if you get flipped. But it happens even to tier 10 vehicles. Okay, 704 in sight. Tracked him. Uh-oh, Barrask, he's seen us. Okay, can we get a shot? Well, we get one, but the Barrask gets it into our tracks. That one did hurt, but can he get another shot? The Barrask is turning round after he's reloading. Well, he gets it 1 shot in. The Barrask is about to finish his reload. And then he's about to fire. Can we get a hit? Yes! Oh, God, that was close. There's only 4 enemies left now. I felt sure that he was going to die to that Barrask. But that shot going into the tracks really saved him. And that's incredible because this thing really has no armour. 30 millimeters at the front, 20 at the sides, 15 at the rear. And on the turret it's only 60 at the front, 25 at the sides and 30 at the rear. So 20 at the rear, sorry. So it's pretty amazing actually that that one was eaten by the tracks. Okay, he's got the strip. Nice, let it dial in. It's good. Nice. Patrol GT out of that one. Or potential patrol GT I should say. You don't necessarily get it. And he's been spotted, but he gets the kill. And that now just leaves the Arty, so he's Arty hunting. There's one of them, the M53. Now, if he goes around the corner, I think more than likely the M53 is waiting for something to come round. And of course, remember, he'll get a proxy spot. And Bassman does a quick handbrake turn, but it's no good because the the school bus is ready and waiting, and he gets derped with a nice little shotgun. So it's all over. The battle's all over. The Waffenträger, was it? No, Skoda T27 took out the school bus. and I think it was the Waffenträger who got the M53, M55. Let's have a look at the end of battle results for both games. Well, here's the end of battle results, and it was a first-class tanker for the Bassman from Hell in the LHMTV. In fact, it's the first time he's had a first-class tanker because he's got the scrolls underneath. He also managed to get a sharpshooter for 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy, a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a master gunner for getting 5 armor penetrating shots in a row, and a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. On top of which, he also got an epic medal. He got the Orlix medal, and that's for killing 2 more enemy tanks or tank destroyers with a light tank in one battle, and it had to be at least 1 tier higher. Well, the Striv S1 is the same tier as Bassman, so it can't be him. It has to be the Gorilla 15, who's tier 10, and the T55A. But the win rate from that game was 8,507, which is Super Unicum standard. And if we look at the team score, we can see that he didn't get the highest damage in the game. In fact, he's a little down because there was 3 players on the enemy team who are higher than him and 3 players on his own team, which puts him in 7th place on damage overall. The highest scorer was in fact the Borsig, who got 3,552. The second highest damage was the E50 with 3,211, and the third highest damage was the enemy Gorilla 15, the guy that Bassman took out. He got 3,172. Bassman only got 2,634 from that game. But he did pick up that Orlix medal, and the E50 picked up a steel wool. When it came to kills, it was the Borsig who did the best with 5. 3 kills went to Bassman, 2 kills to the E50, and also to 5 members of the enemy team. Their Striv, Kampfpanzer, STB, Foch, and their ISU 152. When it came to base XP, it's second place for Bassman, with the Borsig getting top spot and the E50 getting just behind him with 1,207. He fired 12 rounds in that game, got 12 direct hits and 12 penetrations. It's a decent gun, but it's just got a dreadful reload time. 2,634 hit points of damage, of which 469 were at more than 300 meters. At least, I think that's 469. Pretty sure. Yes, it is. 3 hits received from the enemy, all 3 penetrated, yep, no armor. 4 enemy vehicles spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and 1,936 hit points of spotting assist. He earned 46,565 credits from the game, and after repair, ammunition, resupply, and consumables, took away a profit of 10,395 credits. 1,831 XP, and that's all he took away because there was no multipliers. So a fairly decent game on Redshire. He didn't survive the battle, but what the hell? At least it was a win for their team, and he did do incredibly well in the small light tank. Let's have a look at the results for the second game. Well, that was a first-class tanker as well on the Paris map. He managed to get a spotter badge again for getting at least 1,000 hit points of damage spotted, a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills, a duelist, a fire for effect, and his win rate from that one was 6,322. Not as high as the Redshire game, but still very, very good indeed. If we look at team score, we can see that he actually managed to get 4th place on his team, but overall there were 4 members of the enemy team who were above him, as well as the other members of his own team, so he's actually in 8th place overall. 2,009 hit points of damage. The highest score was the Panzerkampfwagen 7, who did 4,150. He picked up a Confederate. Skoda T27 got 11 slaves and 2,631. When it came to kills, though, it was Bassman who did the best with 4 kills. Pretty unbelievable for a light tank. 3 kills for the T30, 3 kills for the Skoda T27. And when it came to base XP, he's top again. 1,175, probably because he was spotting as well as doing damage. And 990 went to the T30, 938 went to the Skoda T27. He fired 12 rounds in this game, 11 direct hits, 10 penetration. Damage of 2,009 hit points, of which 941 were at more than 300 meters. So half of the damage almost was at long range. 5 hits received from the enemy. 3 of them penetrated, 1 non-penetration. That was the shot from the Borask, and it was a miracle that that one didn't strike home, because if it had, I think he probably would have been out of the game. but he also received one hit by way of splash damage, and that was because he poked his nose out where he wasn't wanted, and the enemy was waiting for him. They were anticipating the rest of the team coming from that direction, so they were already facing that way. He could have gone round the other way where the Borsig went and possibly caught one of them unawares, but unfortunately he decided to do that handbrake turn and back out in front of the enemy, and the school bus shut him down immediately. 6 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, and 2,284 hit points to spotting assist. That's what got him the first class tanker. When it came to credits, he earned 42,302 on a premium account, but after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he actually made a loss of 34,733 credits. He also earned 1,762 XP, and there was no multipliers again, so that's all he managed to get. But 2 interesting battles in the LHMTV, who is a little terror because it can run around with very, very good camo. Very difficult for the enemy to spot where it is, unless of course he's inside their view range. But it has got a decent gun. If you've got the top gun, it is fairly decent. You can do decent damage, and it has got great pen. The only problem is, of course, anything that comes back his way is more than likely going to pen, and he's very, very lucky that that Barask didn't shut him down the moment he came in that direction. That was a fluke shot that hit the tracks. So I hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.